What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with our Tales of the Rays video. So, we do have a producer's letter to go over. Usually when it's not like a big producer's letter, like if they just say like, oh, this is the stuff coming to the game, we're working on some bug fixes, like I usually don't cover that because that doesn't have, much to kind of talk about. But this is a decent sized chunk that has a lot of information of stuff they plan to implement for the 5th anniversary. So I do want to kind of cover everything here and talk about what the stuff means. First, I want to say I was wrong on a few things with yesterday's breakdown. First, this is Colette's third collab Mirage Art. I had totally forgotten about the SAO one. I don't know how. Yeah, so Colette gets a lot of favoritism, it seems, when it comes to these collab Mirage Arts. But it is Symphonia, so I guess I kind of give it a pass. I'm not giving it a pass because of Symphonia, but because it seems they only wanted Symphonia characters. I'm kind of like, okay, I kind of get it. You could have picked like, someone else, but it is what it is. But yeah, so right here they're just talking about that. I was also wrong. I thought this was like I'm so used to anime series coming in, so I didn't even know that this was like a game series. Like I looked at I guess it's a game series that got made into a manga and an anime. So very interesting, but very, very cool. So those who are excited for this collab, I hope you get what you want from it. All right, let's talk about 5th anniversary. Obviously, this is like Google translated, so it's not going to be perfect English, so we'll just try to piece stuff together as we go. Plus, I have had people already kind of translate what's going on. So if this is too confusing, I'll just explain it outright, like what we're kind of getting. But let's just go down the list right here. 5th anniversary, we're planning a larger volume than usual. The period is also doubled. The first half is from February 28th to March 31st, then from March 31st to April 30th. So the 5th anniversary it's going to be a big anniversary. I do think that they're going to wrap up the Last Cradle story while the anniversary is still going on. I think the arc will end before the anniversary ends at the end of April. So that might have to do with why they want it to be like a big anniversary. But that definitely tells you, like, if you're going to... most of the time they keep these banners up for a while, especially like anniversary banners usually get like a whole month, but just... if you're going to summon for this collab, just be aware there's going to be a lot of stuff for the anniversary. But let's take a look at what we're actually going to be getting, because, like a 3-month anniversary is a lot. But let's take a look. Okay. They're bringing back campaigns. Okay, so what this is basically saying here, I've already seen people talk about this. It seems this year what they're going to be doing is 10 free multis, and each multi is going to have, like, full, like, Mirage Art. So all 10, like, units in the multi are going to be Mirage Art. So last year, we got 1 free Mirage Art per day for the whole anniversary. The anniversary was 31 days, so we ended up with 31 Mirage Arts. This is going to be 100 free Mirage Arts. Now, of course, it is normal Mirage Arts. I don't think they're going to include the seasonals and stuff, but that's still some good... stuff you're going to be able to get, and I'm sure they'll increase the cutoff point. I'm sure the cutoff point will probably be like, I don't know, maybe like summer of 2021 or something like that. We'll be able to get any Mirage Art, normal Mirage Arts that released during that time. So 100 free Mirage Arts, 10 a day, is very, very nice. I don't know if it's going to be 10 a day or how they're going to make this work, but you will get 100 free Mirage Arts total. So that's pretty good. Okay, so campaigns that they've had before. And there are many other new campaigns that they basically haven't had in the past. So obviously, it's going to be a 3-month anniversary. So of course, we're going to have some new stuff. They're planning to implement new functions, new features to commemorate 5th anniversary by adding new elements to the battle where a character's performance has... Okay, so they don't want things to feel stagnant, so they are going to add some new mechanics to kind of liven up the game a little bit. New ways of playing and how to use characters. Okay, therefore a newly implemented following 5 points. Implementation of burst limit functions, so we'll talk about that. Implementation of new magic mirror, ending magic mirror. translated, it's final Mirage Art is what it's going to be called. We'll talk about that. Burst limits to existing Mirage Arts. So this new burst limit function is going to be tied to Mirage Arts, but old Mirage Arts will be able to use it. But we'll talk about how you're going to be able to do that in a bit. And then new mirror equipment, burst limits mirror. So new 5 stars that are going to be for burst limit. Implementation of new content, best heroes. I forget what it was actually, like, the translation goes to, but it's going to be kind of like a new tower mode. But let's talk about everything. So, implementation of burst limits. It will be similar to over limits in the home title. So, when you play Symphonia, for example, and the over limit activates, the stuff turns all black, and you can't be, like, staggered and stuff like that. That's basically what this is going to be akin to. Obviously, like in Vesperia, for example, when you use over limit, it's also to kind of activate your Mystic Arts. But we already have a way to activate our Mystic Arts / Mirage Arts in this game, so this will not be tied to that. What this is basically, and we'll still look at what it says here, but essentially it's just going to be a powered up state you can use for a limited time. You can see in the images right here, Ix gets this aura around him, so, his power will increase, and then I assume you probably won't be able to be staggered while you're in it. But let's take a look. Burst limits can be activated by accumulating gauges during... Okay, so we're adding another gauge. I wonder if it's going to be like a full team gauge, or if it is going to still be individual. So are we going to have a third gauge on top? Because we have the Spirit Gear gauge, we have the Mirage Art gauge, which you can have 3 total Mirage Art gauges if the stage is long enough. And then now we're going to be adding the burst limit gauge. But no CC consumption for a certain period. Okay, so it is going to work pretty much. So it's going to work kind of better than it would in like Vesperia, for example. Because obviously in Vesperia, if you activate, when you're still using your arts, it still takes up your TP. So here you'll be able to spam as much as you want while it's active, the same arts and all that stuff without worrying about your CC running down to 0. Prevention of squeezing, I assume that means, staggering. Cancellation of restrictions of the same technique. So what that means is, in Rays, if you use the same art, like, twice in a row, the third time it's not going to... Like, for example, if you use it in the dojo, the third attack will get blocked by the enemy, even though the enemy isn't, like, fighting back. So this will be a way... It seems like this will be a way to kind of... if you want to keep spamming the same thing to keep getting the, the combo up, you'll be able to do that while in this state. After defeating an enemy, okay, so the, some enemies have, like, super armor. That's what steel body is whenever it's auto-translated like this. So basically they won't be, you can still hurt them, but they're not going to, like, stagger. So I guess after defeating an enemy, the next enemy will, I guess, lose their, super armor. And you teleport to the next enemy after defeating the enemy. Okay, so these are techniques that are going to be part of, burst limit. So that's cool. You'll be able to immediately teleport. Okay, so that's this right here. I guess you just teleport to the enemy. Very cool. Various effects can be obtained during battle. Instant death prevention. Okay, so you go down to like 1 HP instead of actually dying. Combos that are not normally connected that can be connected. Okay, so I guess some arts that normally don't work together, you'll be able to make it work. Even the characters usually use burst limits, you'll be able to enjoy different ways of enjoy. Okay, so different ways to play. It will be described later. By using specific mirror or specific magic mirror during this burst limit, you will be able to receive various benefits. Yeah, so it seems like each burst limit is going to be different depending on what art it's tied to. So it'll give a different kind of buff. So that's kind of cool. All right, let's talk about this. Final magic mirror. So final Mirage Art. So it's going to be like the decisive Mirage Arts. The ones that kind of depict the final fight of things. Like Yuri's is when he's fighting Duke. Jude's is when he's fighting... Gaius, right? Jude's is when he's fighting Gaius. It's pretty much like the final battle type stuff with those images. Obviously, Vague's has the whole group fighting against Eurus. I guess no one's really gonna. A lot of people probably aren't gonna understand that because we don't have Rebirth localized. But anyways, so at least it looks like it. So Final Magic Mirror is beyond the battle, so it's going to be similar to that, but it's going to be different. So we are getting. It's funny because I thought I remember like half a year ago they said they weren't planning to invent any more new types of Mirage Arts, but I guess here we are. The illustrations are after the decisive battle. Okay, so it's going to be like before the credits roll type stuff like that. So would Yuri's be? I guess when they make it back down, or like Lloyd's is like right when he's about to set off and he says goodbye to Dirk for the last time at the end of Symphonia, like stuff like that. So we'll have to see how that kind of works. Before the ending in the movie. Okay, so it's like right before the credits. Okay. Many directors of the Magic Mirror technique have the strongest imaging. Okay. You can feel the characters who have grown up in the Magic Mirror technique. Okay. So they're basically, that's what they're basically saying. I don't know how this is going to be different in terms of like how they're used. Like, are they going to be stronger than overrays? Are they going to be weaker than decisive Mirage Arts? Like, hard to say. Okay, the power and MG cost performance are high, but the setting of the Final Magic Mirror. Okay, so yeah. So it's basically going to be, pretty high. So it's going to be up there with decisive Mirage Arts and overrays. By using the Final Magic Mirror during burst limit, the power. So you want to activate burst limit and then use the Final Mirage Art to kind of do more damage. So it seems like these Final Mirage Arts are going to be the strongest ones in the game. They'll probably trump even overrays, which is worrisome because hopefully the rates won't go lower than they are for overrays, because then it'll be really hard to pull them. Certain items are required to grant burst. Okay, so yeah, you'll see it right here. There's a new item required in order to activate this new thing. Okay, so this is a new menu. So you've got enhancing your weapons, enhancing your Mirage Arts. Then this will be the burst limit for Mirage Arts. And then, of course, your 2 Spirit Gear things down here. Okay, so this is how you're going to... So you're going to have to enhance it 5 times for... oh, man, all the Mirage Arts that I have on my characters. Going to have to do this for. But they did... So here it says, basically, the item will be made available at events and other events. So you'll be able to choose, which Mirage Arts you want to work on. And over time, they're going to... I think it'll be similar to... what can I compare it to? Two characters getting their 6th enhancements. I'm assuming it's going to be like that, where they're probably going to go in waves where characters get them first. But we'll have to see how that kind of gets handled. Implementation of new mirror equipment. Okay, so this is the burst limit mirror equipment. So it's a new type of 5-star. So now characters will have a 4th 5-star you have to go for. Okay. During burst limit, yeah, okay, so they're just explaining the same thing there. Extending combos. New best heroes implementation. So this is the new, arena thing, but let's see what it actually says here with how that works. So, new conditions, okay. Okay, oh wait, no. Down here. There's a content close to the excess slasher entails arena for home use. Okay, so yeah, it's going to be a time limit. So you just defeat... It's going to be kind of like the co-op, except you're going to be doing it solo. So it's really just going to be how many enemies you can take down before the time runs out. I think that's cool. In order to play, you need to clear the 60th floor. Okay, that's easy, of the regular tower. And then you'll be able to do this. So I guess every month you do your 60 floors, and then you'll be able to do this. But, yeah, for the end content, Total Power Battle uses many characters. This is content. The strongest 4 people will challenge. Okay, so you just take your strongest 4 characters. I mean, obviously you want to have a healer on there. But, that's really cool. I like this. This is going to be cool. I'll definitely make a video on this once it actually goes live. It will be implemented from late February to mid-March. So most likely when the anniversary drops is when this is going to be implemented. So that'll be fun to do. Different paths. Details of the 5th anniversary we broadcast live. Not just the 5th anniversary campaign, we also introduced the participating characters. So the live broadcast schedule. Oh, okay. So they're going to tell us the date soon, but the way they make this sound is the anniversary campaign will probably be shown to us before the anniversary begins. So I assume the stream will probably be in the middle of this month, since the anniversary itself will start on the 28th. But we'll have to see. Future updates, 5th anniversary. Okay, so they're just explaining everything we just saw. Spring, additional support, 5th anniversary. So there will obviously be a 5th anniversary part 2. So I wouldn't go all, unless it's just really characters you want. Maybe don't go all in on the first banner. Because there's probably going to be a banner, at the end of February. And then at the end of March will probably be the second main anniversary banner. And that'll run till the end of April. Although it's nothing to do with the update, reviewing the illustration production I've been working on past 6 months. Okay. Okay, so they're just talking about the quality, sometimes either being there or not being there. Okay, here's another thing to talk about. Participation of Crestoria characters. So I'll just summarize because I've already read this. They're basically saying that they are going to be adding Crestoria relatively soon. They are going to start with Kanata. Specifically, they're mentioning Kanata, which makes me think that he's going to come alone. I don't know how they're going to handle it. Because at least with Arise, they did 2 characters each. Like, we did 3 sets of 2. But if they're going to do these one by one, I'm not sure how, like, a banner will work. Will it just be, like, Kanata by himself on a banner? I'm not sure how that'll work. Yeah, and then they talk about how it's going to cause problems because it's not a finished story. So when Kanata, comes to the game, what is he going to be able to say? What is he going to be able to not say since it's not a finished story? They're going to talk to the Crestoria team about how to handle that. But they do plan to release Kanata relatively soon. They think about summertime, which makes sense. You would think that I had always assumed that Kanata was going to come during the anniversary for Crestoria, just like how we get Tales of Link stuff every Tales of Link anniversary. So I do think, July they had Kanata. I don't know if they'll do it yearly, because 1 character per year, the game probably won't still be alive if they do that by the time they add all 6. So I think it'll be more like Arise, where, Kanata comes in July, Mizella comes in, like, September, December, we get Vicious, and then so on and so forth. Probably something like that. Maybe even faster, depending on how it's going to go. It's about 24 days till the 5th anniversary. Yep, just about. 5 years is long. If you compare it with Tales from the release of the Super Famicom version of Fantasia to the release of Eternia, yep, that's about that time. Everyone who played for these 5 years, just grateful for those who walked with us. Okay, so he just wants to, they want to return, their gratitude during this 5th anniversary with everything they've got prepared. But that's pretty much it. So a lot of stuff coming for the 5th anniversary. I am really excited for everything. Obviously, the free summons are always great, but I'm really excited to see Crestoria come to the game, around summertime. I'm excited to see what they're going to do for a big, 2-part anniversary, because that means there definitely be, 2 main banners. So I recommend those who have pretty set up accounts to save for whatever these banners are going to be. I wish I could listen to my own advice, but I did end up doing a few more summons for trying to get Jude's overlay. But now that I know we're getting this whole new type of Mirage Art, I think I'm going to specifically save for these Mirage Arts, like the ones that come with the final Mirage Art and the burst limits. I think banners with those is what I'm going to be saving for a good while. But let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know if you're excited for the 5th anniversary of Tales of the Rays. It's been an exciting 5 years covering. I haven't covered it the entire 5 years because I was playing it at first, and then when Global Rays was still around, I started covering it. But for the most part of this game's life, I think my first, what was the first event I covered on the global side? I actually don't even remember. I think it was like the Asbel and Sharia event. It might have been that on global. And then, because I remember, quick little story, I started playing Raids in Japanese, then I stopped. That old account isn't the account I have now, because I didn't link it. I just deleted it when I saw there was going to be a global version. And then when stuff started to kind of slow down on the global version, I downloaded the Japanese version because I was expecting that global might get shut down. And when I started the Japanese version again, it was during the Aizen and Laphicet event, I believe. Or it might have been the Emil and Marta. No. It was at the end of the Emil and Marta event. And then it was, I think, Aizen and Laphicet was like right after them. So right around that time is when I started playing on JP Seriously. And this is that same account. But yeah, so let me know what you guys are excited for. Let me know what you'd like to see for the 5th anniversary banners. And let's just all get hyped. You know, we got about 3 weeks till we'll probably know what the banner is going to look like for the first part. And it's pretty exciting. So that's going to be it, guys. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more if you're new to the channel. I'll see you all next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.